Are you ready?
I am ready.
Do you know what time it is?
No.
It's time to start our program.
Perfect.
Isn't this great?
It is great.
And do you know what day it is?
No.
Do you care what day it is?
No.
No. Do you know what's happening in about 3 or 4 months?
Christmas.
And then after Christmas?
The new year.
The new year.
Mm-hmm. I do know that.
We need to start planning for 2019.
That would be fun.
I'm Brian Martin.
And I'm Jennifer Martin.
And this is Real Estate Love. And we're here to encourage and to support real estate agents all over the world, and especially in the United States and Canada, and especially in California, where we're from. Fresno, California. Isn't that a great place?
You know, Brian, Fresno has been a really great place for us.
It has been.
It has.
And do you know that people in Fresno have calendars also?
No way.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. You know, there's one of the differences between Fresno and Minnesota.
Snow.
Snow.
Or
Yes.
In parts of California, we have snow.
Yes, but in Fresno, California, we don't.
Well,
I mean, one time there was back, 12 years ago or something?
Well, it might have been longer than that.
My point is, we don't suffer seasonality like other regions do.
We don't.
So some people have falls and winters and springs and summers, and Fresno doesn't really have a whole lot of variation.
It doesn't.
No, so it's really important to have a calendar so you know what time of the year it is.
Well, gosh, I'm so glad you let me know that.
I know. So we're asking you to take in mind and consider your 2019. And so we're going to talk about calendaring today. And let's begin with the big picture.
Okay.
What's the thing that we're planning to do with our team this year?
Well, we're going to meet together in October and do some calendaring and planning for 2019. And I'm really excited about that.
Yes, we're going to have a retreat.
We are.
And we're going to sit down with our team and we're going to take a look at 2019. And we're going to take a big calendar and a smaller calendar and a smaller calendar. And we're going to reduce our calendar down to a single day, and then we're going to reduce our single day down into specific components, and that's all part of calendaring.
Well, and I think that I'm really hoping that for that event, everyone comes with their family calendar and also with their personal budget.
I'm thinking that since people only have one life,
yes,
you know, we don't have two lives. We're not business people and home people.
No.
We're just people.
Right.
Here, I have an exercise for you. Go and stand in front of the mirror. A full-length mirror so you can see everything that there is to see. Okay, now imagine that you're doing that.
I'm imagining.
All right, so you're doing that. What do you see?
Me.
Do you see a crowd of people?
No, just me.
Do you see the real estate broker?
Yes.
Oh. But do you see the grandmother?
I really see that.
Yeah. But how can you be seeing two different things when there's only one of you?
I see more than that.
You see more than one?
No, I see more than the broker and the grandma.
Oh, what do you see?
I see the partner for 44 years, and I see the mother, and I see the daughter, and I see the sister, and I see the aunt, and I see the friend, and I see there's a lot.
Wow, you are a fragmented person.
But it's
how do you hold all those pieces in the way they're supposed to be?
Well, there's only one of me.
That's right. There's only one.
There's only one of me.
And we only have one calendar too.
Yes. So when I said I hope they bring their family calendar, I mean because we have to incorporate it onto one calendar.
Yes, we do.
So that was.
Ultimately, what I'm hoping that our team will do is that when they get their calendar done for the year, they'll go home and say, hey guys, this is our calendar. We have to make sure that our family is on our calendar also. And so that they'll go in and put the important days that are on there. So that's one of the things that we're going to do is that we're going to say to our agents, okay, take the year calendar and mark off all the days you're not going to work.
That's right.
Yeah, do it a year ahead of time. I'm not going to work these days and these days, so that's going to be a little bit challenging because you're not going to want to work every weekend. But if you're going to do a couple of open houses a month, then you can mark those in there.
You can.
Yeah.
I think you also have to mark in when you're going to be learning.
Yes. Definitely. Those are days off work. So if you're planning on going to...
I don't know that they're days off work.
Oh.
When I'm learning, I'm working.
Oh, okay.
So for me, when I go to Family Reunion, which is our company's annual event, that's a full week. And man, I'm more exhausted than if I was working. I mean, here at home.
Yes, you raise a good point.
And so
absolutely,
I think that's work time.
So let's differentiate then. That's a really good point. Let's differentiate the time that we're going to take off from work and then the time that we are going to be not doing our normal routine every single day.
Maybe we make it in different colors too.
We could do that too. That's a really great idea.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah. So we have one calendar. And we decide what days we're not going to be working. And during those days, those could be family days and vacation days, and those could be holidays. And
I like holidays.
I like holidays too. Which is your favorite?
Thanksgiving.
Me too. And then you have, special days off. Maybe you have a family reunion, like we have a family reunion the Saturday after Mother's Day. Every year.
And we know that every year.
And we know that every year.
It comes every year.
And you know what else comes every year?
Christmas.
And so a lot of people are not ready for Christmas.
I know.
So maybe they should calendar in their shopping too.
You know what always gets me and where I struggle is remembering, because Easter changes every year.
Right.
I forget that week before and after Easter. And why that's important is because of kids' schooling.
Yeah.
And that also impacts business sometimes, both with the people we work with and then sometimes with our clients. And so I want to make sure that this year when I'm doing my calendaring that I put Easter on so I remember the week before and the week after.
And some school districts have their spring vacation at a completely different time.
They do.
So we need to consult with all of our family and find out what their school district is doing for spring vacation.
Well, and luckily we have family in every school district.
Luckily, huh?
Luckily. So
where do we get that big calendar, that one that has the whole year on it?
Well, we can get it at Office Max or Office
Someplace
Depot,
like that, right?
or probably other places too.
Yeah, that is a really great tool. And then you need a little packet of colored dry eraser markers, and so you can sit down. And I like your idea of having the whole family do that.
I do too.
I think we should encourage our team to take the calendar home and sit down with their family and to go ahead and to fill out the days that they're going to be doing family events during the year.
Well, and that might even be a fun thing to do, is to buy them all a calendar, because again, I really think it would be nice for them to come with what their family calendar looks like.
You mean buy all of our agents in our team?
Buy all of our agents a calendar, so that in our October planning, when we all get together, we can start seeing, and they may have to move, and we may have to move things around.
I know. Nothing is immutable, is what I like to say.
And when we give it to them, we could even say, sit down with your family, plan out next year, knowing that there may be some days that have to change.
Yes. All right. So we agree that the first thing that they need to do is to get a planning calendar.
Absolutely.
And then I think we agree that the second thing that they need to do is to sit down with their family and to look at the calendar and to calculate and to mark the days that they're going to be doing family things and taking days off of work.
That's right.
Yes. And so then the third thing they're going to do is, if you're on a team or if you're in a business or you have a business partner or somebody else, next you're going to be planning the things that are important for your business.
Absolutely.
So we're going to include family reunion, other special mega camp, other events that we go to, other trainings,
Yes.
and plug them in. And we're going to make sure that they're there. Now, we're not sure yet what all the trainings are that are going to be offered in 2019, but we want to make sure that we hit 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 every year, maybe 1 a quarter, some kind of a training
So
event.
it's a growth calendar also.
It's a growth calendar.
And so they need to also come prepared with what areas of growth do they want.
Right. In our franchise, we have bold.
Right.
And so we can calculate that in also.
And that's coming in April next year.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll make sure that we'll mark that down. And then,
I hope Denise Meyer is the bowl coach again.
Yeah.
Man, she's powerful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get her.
Okay.
And then, so once we do that planning, then we've done a major step in getting things taken care of for our planning. It's the biggest piece, is being able to sit down and to look at the days that you're working, the days you're not working, the events you're going to be going to, and making sure that everything is on the big calendar.
That's amazing.
And then the next thing that we're going to do is that we're going to break it down into the quarters.
So what we're doing is kind of chunking it down, as Joanna would say.
We're going to chunk it down, and we're going to actually end up chunking it down to half-hour, 1-hour segments when we do our time blocking.
You know, I am excited about that because I feel like I could be better at
time blocking. All right, let's jump then. Let's jump from the big calendar to the time blocking. Let's talk about that. And then maybe we can fill in, if we have time, we can fill in the parts about the quarters and the months, because those are important in there. It's important tools that we can incorporate in for those calendars. All right, let's chunk it down to our daily calendar.
Okay.
All right, so you and I, we use the Google Calendar. Our team, we're all on a Google Calendar, and so it's all tied to our Gmail accounts, and our team uses one Gmail account.
Right.
All right. So and
families could do the same thing.
And families can do the same thing also. Or, you know, there's other calendars that are available for people who use other things. But we're going to be talking about the Google one because that's one we're familiar with. But you can take the same ideas and principles and you can apply them to whatever format you want to use.
Absolutely.
All right. So in our Google Calendar, we have each day is divided up into how many hours? Most days have 24 hours.
I haven't found one with more.
Mm-hmm. And then since we're sleeping for 8 hours, because
it only gives us 16
then
hours
only gives us
to
16
schedule.
hours of schedule, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I look at my calendar and the time blocking that I do, there's a lot of space in there still.
Yes, there is. You know, this is a hard subject for me.
Oh.
I don't know
Good.
if you knew that.
Tell me about it.
Well, I feel like from 5 in the morning until 8:30, I am structured really well. And then most mornings from 9 until 10, 3 mornings a week, I have a call that I have to be on. So then it's sometimes challenging for me to jump from the 10 o'clock call to the to doing my calls from 10 to 11:30. That's a hard transition, and oftentimes I get 1 or 2 done, but I also feel like I'm not as effective as I could be. And then of course from 11:30 to 12 on some days, I answer questions for other agents. I'm trying to move that on so that maybe my time for our team can be extended. But it sometimes feels like I lose that hour and a half that really is when I should be working on my business.
Okay, so there's 2 things that come to my mind when you talk about that. One is making sure that you know what your 20% is and you're focusing on your 20%. What is the most important thing for you to be doing at that particular time? But second of all, I think what's really important is for you being realistic about your time blocking and making sure that you actually allow yourself the transition time from one event to another.
And I think that that's really what I'm not very good about, is the transition time. I think that I think most people, maybe not most, I think a lot of people have a far higher expectation of themselves than is maybe reality. And so sometimes I feel like my expectation of myself is to move directly from one activity to the other without a break, without a refocusing. And so I'm wondering what I can do for maybe from 10 to 10:10 to transition myself and think differently. Okay, I've gone from this activity and now I'm going to start this activity and prepare myself.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the role of rituals, and rituals will help you. Every major event of the day, even minor event, comes with a ritual. So, for instance, waking up, there's a ritual that's involved. The alarm goes off, right? So the alarm goes off at our house at 4:50, right?
Every morning.
Every morning, but we're not up. And we're not dressed, and our bed isn't made at 4:51.
No, it's usually 4:53.
Yeah. And so there is a transition that needs. So there's a gray area.
There is.
There's a gray area in every calendar, and we have to be comfortable with the gray area. And so, but we do know that we are moving from one to the other, and so we're going to take a time, and we're going to change our thinking. We can even say to ourselves, there, I've completed this task. Now I'm going to move on to this set of things.
I think that would be really helpful for me, because as you talk about that, I realize that I don't do that with my thinking at work. It's not a transition. I just think continue. Just push forward.
All right, well, try thinking about it in a transition and give yourself a little bit of flexibility there to move into one thing or another. Now, the problem is distractions. So
right.
When distractions come in, how do you deal with the distractions? And so there's several things that you can do, but we're not going to talk about distractions right now. Because
that would distract us.
Because what I know about you is that you are in a totally different league of people when it comes to working. You are a master of work. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to put anybody down about this, but most real estate agents do not use their time well, and they do not work as hard or as smart as you do.
Wow, thank you.
Well, no, that's not a thank you. That's not even a subjective statement. That is the reality of the way that you live your life. You are a hard worker. You get up at 4:50 and you get started right away. And from 5 o'clock in the morning until 8:30 when you get in the office, you've already done 2 or 3 hours worth of work. Whether it's admin work, it's mostly admin work, or something like that. You actually do talk to people as early as 6 o'clock in the morning.
I do. I have quite a few people who like that 6 o'clock hour.
So I'm telling you, and everybody knows this, that they could work harder and they could work smarter. They could work longer hours and they could get more done if they used time blocking and if they prioritize their time correctly.
Well, I am.
That's right, honey.
That's right, honey. You hit the nail on the head.
I did. So what I want these people to do is I want them to organize and to structure. I want you to organize and structure your calendar so that you're using all of your time effectively and you're not wasting any of it at all.
Well, and let's back up for a minute. So I'm at a stage in my life where I can get up and start working because I have no responsibility to little ones. And my responsibility to my mother who lives here is limited in the morning.
Yes.
she's very self-sufficient.
Yes.
So I don't have to time block that I have family time from 5 to 8:30.
That's right.
A lot of people do. We have young mothers, we have single parents, we have dads who are the primary deliver to school and breakfast and lunch makers, and so we have people in our office who are taking care of elderly parents and really taking care of them physically, and so they have to structure their time, and they have to know that just because you and I may work from 5 until 8:30, that may be the time that they have to schedule for their family to care and meet the needs of their family.
Yes, and I'm not saying that they're not working during that time. I'm saying they're not using their time the best that they can. So, like, I'm working with our team members on our team to be more effective with their mornings. And we have young mothers on our team, and they struggle with this, and so they're working on it. And it's for them, it's a matter of prioritizing what they're doing and making sure that it actually works.
Well, don't you think to some degree it goes back to the one thing? If you're supposed to be doing one thing at that time, do it well.
Yes, but I wish it was that simple. It's just because life is complicated, especially when you have small children at home.
It is.
There's a lot of unpredictability around small children, and so that's challenging. So we have to be realistic about that. So if we have to be at point B at 8:30 in the morning, and that means, okay, so we're going to be at point B at 8:30 in the morning, and so then we're going to have to make sure that we structure our time well enough and give ourselves enough flexibility so that we can take into consideration things like that happen, like messes and tiny crises and spills and dramas and things like that. And so we don't want to have our schedule so tight that it won't allow for life to happen. But in general, we want to make sure that this part of life happens in this particular amount of time. So what I'm going to do is that, okay, so I have these things that must be done, and I've got this much time to do it in. I'm going to say, okay, this is from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, but from 7:15 to 7:45, this must be done. So I've given myself some flexibility. And so it requires a tremendous amount of discipline to do that. But it begins with making sure that you've got your time blocking down in specifically, so that you can play with it and so that you can tweak it. So we have to finish up, but I'm going to suggest for everybody that you do this because Jennifer has stumbled on some really great ideas and realities about your calendar. I'm recommending that you do a 16-hour time audit. And that is to audit your time from when you wake up in the morning to when you go to bed at night. And make sure that you're going to bed and waking up at a regular time every single day. So then you take the rest, your other 16 hours or 17 hours or whatever it is, and then divide that up into 15-minute segments. And then every hour, set your alarm for every hour, and then every hour record what you did in the previous hour. And that's going to give you a time audit. And then you can sit down with your time audit and sit down with somebody else and discuss the activities that are taking place during your time. And then you can begin to use that to help guide you with your time blocking and the things that are important to do.
I think that's a really great idea. That's yours.
Yeah, no, that's not mine. But but it's a really, really, really great idea.
It is.
All right, so we want you to start thinking about 2019. We want you to get that big one-year calendar out and take that activity to your family and sit down and plan out what you're going to be doing for the year. And then we want you to start thinking about time blocking your day and the things that are important to that. And we'll be talking some more about that in future episodes. This is Real Estate Love.
And we love you.
And my name is Brian Martin.
And I'm Jennifer Martin.
And we hope that you have a really blessed day. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.